Copenhagen, a city with so many sights to see, you wonder how you can get your arms around it. But Copenhagen is a harbor town with canals, and so one of the best ways to orient yourself to what you're going to see during your visit to Copenhagen is to take a harbor tour that starts in Nyhavn. All right, so we are in Copenhagen, and we're going to take the harbor cruise, which is one of the first things I like to do because it settles you into the city. You get to see sort of the layout of the land, and you get to see a lot of interesting sights, and then you just feel like, okay, yeah, here's Copenhagen, and now we're going to explore. But first, we're going to have kind of a summary overview, an executive summary, and that's what the harbor tour cruise is for me. So, here we go. And you're not the only one. Look at that boat. There are countless people who come to this Nyhavn in Copenhagen and take a harbor cruise. And then you're off. You're under the bridge that separates you from Nyhavn to the open harbor. And then you're there. Look at those boats. Look at the people walking around the bridge. This is Copenhagen on the water. This is what they like to do. See? I'm happy. I'm relaxed. I'm feeling very good about being on the harbor cruise. Come on, give me a big smile. And you see all sorts of things. For example, this modern apartment building is being put up in land that used to be used for harbors or military. And if you look at the top left, that's the most expensive apartment in Copenhagen. And there's the new opera building. It's glamorous, it's architectural, it's got great lamps. When they dug into the ground, they found a lot of ruins. You dig into Copenhagen, you find a lot of ruins. And of course, there is a place where you can dock your boat. You can come to the opera in a boat. Next up, we have their trash facility. And the guy who decided to build it, he wanted to build a very high structure because there's no mountains in Denmark. And in fact, he actually put a ski slope on the trash facility so that people can go skiing, and they can go skiing in Denmark. As we continue along the way, you will see many sights, and the one that people like to see the most is the Little Mermaid. Yes, it's the Little Mermaid. This is one of the great icons of Denmark. And this mermaid draws enormous crowds. And in fact, it's been sent around the world, and it has been vandalized. Its head has been cut off. It's been decapitated, and they put it back together so people can see the Little Mermaid. And people love to see the Little Mermaid. Yes, they do. And of course, they love to take pictures of the Little Mermaid. See, I'm taking a picture of a person taking a picture of the Little Mermaid. After the Little Mermaid, we come to the Queen's, the royal docking grounds. This is the place where the Queen will get on her yacht. One of those little cupolas is for the Queen, and other people are for other dignitaries. So, they're taken care of. And then we come to the Marsk building. This is the building. These are people who've been shipping, and they've been shipping for so long, and they built up a shipping empire, and they've got this glamorous building with these blue squares that look rather ominous, but they're very nice indeed. Then we come to one of the satellites of the Danish Art Museum. This is a place where they house all the casts of the great statues that were taken 2 centuries ago from around the world, so Danish artists could study these things. Look, there are 2 little statues peeking out. Here's the National Theater. Denmark takes theater very seriously, and they made a glamorous National Theater, and it's right on the harbor. In addition to seeing theater, you can also just hang out on their promenade. And it's great to hang out. You have to do it with some birds sometimes, and you can look out at the harbor. You could be looking at us as we're taking our harbor cruise. Then we turn into one of the canals. This is not part of the harbor. It's one of the canals that were built in the past in Copenhagen. And they have started to use the canals in the harbor space. If you look to the right, you will see an area where people are enjoying themselves. It used to be another derelict part of the harbor, but now it has been turned into an exciting spot of food courts and people where you can have drinks and people come and enjoy themselves. See, there's a boat right there that's enjoying themselves. Then we go under one of the many bridges that we're going to go under, and when we go through the bridges, we are going to see there are people who live. There's residential sections, and then there's a lot of houseboats. Look at those houseboats. They come from all over. Actually, some of them aren't just houseboats. Some are just boats that people have come to the summer to enjoy the wonderful weather and the experience of being in the harbor and the canal. Another little boat. We're behind another little boat. People love to go around these canals in the harbor in the summer and just enjoy themselves. And enjoy themselves they do. Here is a bar that is on a barge in the canal, so that if you don't want to be on a harbor cruise, but you want to have a cocktail and be on the canal, you can just come to one of these barges. And here we go through another tunnel. And what do we see at the end of this tunnel? It's something that looks kind of curious. I'll tell you what it is. It's a bunch of people who are bicycling. They're bicycling on the water. You didn't think that was possible, but Denmark, they've figured out to put bicycles with paddles on pontoons and just kind of go around the harbor. Now, I'm not sure I want to do it. It looks kind of cool, but, you know, if you fall off a bike on the ground, you fall off the ground. But if you fall off the ground, bike in the water, you get wet. But they were very friendly. See, they waved to us, and then we continue on our way. There is a kayaker as well. And there is what used to be a royal brewery. It was built as a army military installation, but then 20 years later they started to make it a brewery, and that's good because we needed more breweries. Here we are going through one of the canals, and if you look on the right, there's the Torval Hall something or other. I always mispronounce this guy. He's a great artist, and I went to see it, and it's what good. So we continue through the Carnival Canal tour, and we go under another bridge. But people wave it to you, so it's always fun. And it's kind of fun to... You can't stand up, otherwise, you know, you'd hurt yourself. And they tell you often, don't stand up. And here we are through another bridge. And if we continue our tour, there we have what used to be the place that you get on a ferry to Sweden. Now it's a private club. Things happen. It's kind of cool, but you can't do it because it's a private club. And of course, there is more people enjoying themselves on the harbor. Here is another outdoor eatery and bar, and people are just relaxing because they're doing it. They're relaxing. I'm relaxing on the boat, and we just continue enjoying the harbor cruise. And alas, however, the harbor cruise has to end. We're coming back to our point of origin, which is New Haven, and we're seeing some nice boats. Then you pass through another bridge. It's another short one. And you just kind of go, wow, it's kind of cool. I've never been under such a small bridge. And then when you get out of the bridge, you see New Haven, the boats that are there, and then you see the wonderful colored houses that make up New Haven. And these colored houses are known around the world. You can get magnets, and you get little miniature houses to take home with you and put them on your coffee table. People love to put these little houses on their coffee table. I have yet to put it on my coffee table. I've got a lot of stuff on my coffee table. I don't need even little houses on my coffee table. And here we are coming back to the dock. And I will tell you something. I felt really refreshed and glad that I got out to see Copenhagen on the water. And we saw a lot of unusual sights. They have bicycles on pontoons. Now that is not Danish invention. I don't know what is. But that's what this country is. It's constantly reinventing itself and constantly re-examining itself. It's got old, it's got new, but most of all, it's just fun. Thank you, Copenhagen, and thank you, Denmark.